Welcome, future inspectors. I'm so glad you're joining us for this explainer on PCV system accountability. Today, we're diving deep into the exact inspection requirements for the positive crankcase ventilation system, exactly as laid out by the Bureau of Automotive Repair. But right out of the gate, I want you to keep one absolute, fundamental truth in mind. You are training to be licensed California Smog Check Inspectors. You are not repair technicians. Your entire job, and honestly, the very protection of your license, relies entirely on exact compliance with the BAR Smog Check Manual.
Okay, let's dive into this and outline the exact workflow we'll be covering today to keep you legally protected. We'll start with the sealed circuit, move into visual inspection requirements, tackle the smoke test, go over result documentation, and finally, we'll wrap up by looking at some common rookie mistakes.
Section 1. The sealed circuit, understanding the flow.
And this brilliantly illustrates the why behind what we're looking at. Before you can properly fail a system, you have to understand how it works when it's right. As you can see, the PCV system is a complete closed-loop circuit. It's not just a single valve you check off a list. Fresh air comes in upstream of the throttle, sweeps right through the crankcase, and then gets pulled out by manifold vacuum through the PCV valve and straight into the intake. If any single part of this entire circuit is broken, left unsealed, or tampered with, the system fails. Plain and simple.
Now you might be wondering, why is it so absolutely crucial that this circuit stays sealed? Well, it all comes down to blow-by gases. Whenever an engine is running, some of the cylinder charge inevitably escapes past the piston rings and into the crankcase. And those gases? They're absolutely loaded with unburned hydrocarbons, water vapor, and pressure. The whole point of the PCV system is to safely evacuate those blow-by gases into the intake so they can be reburned. It satisfies strict emissions controls without ever venting those harmful hydrocarbons out into the atmosphere. And verifying that process is exactly what you're doing as an inspector.
Section 2. Visual inspection requirements, making the right call.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how clearly it contrasts your day-to-day reality in the bay. This is where your specific accountability kicks into high gear. You have to verify that the system matches its original certified configuration. Take a look at the correct OEM setup on the left. All the hoses are properly connected, the valve is fully seated, the oil cap is tight. Now look at the tampered setup on the right. Maybe it's missing a breather hose, or maybe it's got some flashy aftermarket catch can that the owner swears adds 10 horsepower. But if it lacks a CARB executive order exemption, it doesn't pass. Spotting that difference? That is your legal responsibility.
So when you do spot an issue, you have to use one of these 5 strictly defined result codes from the BAR manual. Let's run through them. Missing means a part was literally removed. Modified means it was disabled, replaced with an unapproved street part, or altered. Disconnected means the part is physically there but unhooked. Those first 4 all roll up into tampered, which is an automatic fail. But pay close attention to that last one, defective. This is reserved for normal wear and tear, deterioration, or a genuinely unintentional disturbance, like an old cracked hose. It's still a fail for sure, but it's legally distinct from intentional tampering. So the crucial point is this golden rule right here. Never, under any circumstances, enter not applicable for a required crankcase control. Seriously, even if the system is incredibly hard to reach or buried under a massive engine shroud, you cannot use N/A to just bypass it. Ignoring required systems with an N/A entry is basically a fast track to disciplinary consequences. Don't do it.
Section 3. The Crankcase Smoke Test. Functional Evaluation. Now we're getting into the functional evaluation. This is the operational, visible smoke test for both gas and diesel vehicles, and you need to treat this like a strict, non-negotiable checklist. Step 1, get the vehicle to a warm idle. Step 2, open the hood. Step 3, observe the crankcase and PCV area for exactly 10 seconds. If you see any visible smoke emanating from the crankcase during those 10 seconds, that equals an automatic failure. Remember, you aren't diagnosing why it's smoking, you just record that it is.
But of course, you really need to know the exceptions so you don't make a legally incorrect call. First off, steam or condensation is not a fail. On a cold morning, you're going to see water vapor. Vapor dissipates quickly. Smoke lingers. You have to know the difference. Second, hybrid vehicles are completely excluded from this visible smoke test. Just skip it. And finally, if you're inspecting a diesel vehicle that came from the factory originally equipped with an open crankcase, you skip this test entirely.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 4, proper result documentation, securing the record.
Your job absolutely isn't legally complete until it's correctly recorded.
Depending on the setup in your bay, you're either going to use the older Bar 97 or the newer OIS software, and they prompt you a bit differently on screen. In Bar 97, your crankcase smoke results actually go under Other Emission-Related Controls, but in the OIS, it explicitly prompts you to enter result of the Crankcase System Smoke Check. You have to match your physical observation perfectly to the correct software prompt.
And if you do end up failing a vehicle for a crankcase visual or smoke issue, proper documentation on the Vehicle Inspection Report, the VIR, and the customer invoice is a strict BAR requirement. Any failure has to be clearly documented on both copies. You'd write something like, failed visible smoke test, crankcase smoke. This protects you, and it creates a clear, undeniable paper trail.
Section 5. Common Rookie Mistakes. Protecting your license.
Let's fire through some rapid warnings and recap what usually catches new inspectors off guard. Pitfall 1. Failing a vehicle for harmless steam or condensation. Remember, water vapor is not smoke. Pitfall 2. Diagnosing for repairs. It is so tempting to pull out your tools and try to figure out exactly why there is blow-by. Stop. You are an inspector. Strict observation is your job. You are not acting as a repair tech trying to fix the problem. And Pitfall 3. Using NA just to dodge a tricky setup. If it's a required system, you find it and you inspect it. Which brings us to our final thought today. A Smog Check certificate literally cannot be voided or unissued once it's punched into the state system. The moment you hit enter, your name and your license are permanently attached to that vehicle's condition at that exact moment in time. So, I'll leave you with this question. Is your inspection legally defensible? Keep that high-stakes accountability in the absolute front of your mind every single time you step into the bay. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and good luck out there.